Best books to read in this summer 2019. Number 1, From the Other Side of the World, Extraordinary Entrepreneurs, Unlikely Places, written by Elmira Bayrasli. The author of this book works on entrepreneurship, global development, and foreign policy. She is the co-founder of Foreign Policy Interrupted and a lecturer at New York University, NYU. She has written for the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, Foreign Affairs, and Reuters. If you are interested to become an entrepreneur or a business personal, or work on startup companies, this will be a great book for you. In this book, the author wrote about 7 entrepreneurs' professional life and their businesses. These entrepreneurs are from 7 different countries, 1 from Turkey, 1 from Nigeria, 1 from Pakistan, 1 from Mexico, 1 from India, 1 from Russia, and 1 from China. The author gives details information about their startup business, and presents the difficulties that they faced and still facing to start and run their business, and how they are dealing with those problems and coming up with solutions and moving forward. The author wrote about the situations of those countries. The author gave many useful statistics about the world and those countries. The author related the stories of those entrepreneurs with Silicon Valley and the USA. You will learn a lot from this book. Number 2, 25 Ways to Win with People, How to Make Others Feel Like They Are $1 Million by John C. Maxwell and Parrott, Ph.D., New York Times best-selling author. This book is written to help a person to improve his or her interpersonal relationships. The authors teach you have good intentions. And the authors advise you to let people know that you need them. The authors tells you to compliment people in front of other people, give others a reputation to uphold, pass the credit on to others, offer your very best, encourage the dreams of others, do for others what they can't do for themselves, find the keys to their heart, be first to help, add value to people, remember a person's story, give with no strings attached, point out people's strengths, write notes of encouragement, help people to win, and say the right words at the right time. The authors advise you to listen with your heart. The authors gave good explanations, guidelines, and examples about these matters in this book. One of the authors of this book, John C. Maxwell, is an expert on leadership, who communicated his leadership principles to Fortune 500 companies, U.S. military academy at West Point, sports organizations like NCAA, NBA, and NFL. He wrote more than 30 books. His book, Developing Leader Within You, and The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, were sold more than 1 million copies. The other author, Parrott, is the founder of the Center for Relationship Development on the campus of Seattle Pacific University and the best-selling author of High Maintenance Relationship, The Control Freak, and Love Talk. He has been featured in USA Today, The Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times. He appeared on CNN, Good Morning America, and Oprah. Number 3, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, Follow Them and People Will Follow You by John C. Maxwell, New York Times business bestseller, Wall Street Journal bestseller. Over 1 million copies of this book was sold, Business Week bestseller for 23 months. In this book, the author gives simple and powerful guidelines to leadership through the application of principles supported by the personal character. The author gives 21 laws of leadership, which are: the law of the lid, which states, leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness; the law of influence, which states, the true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less; the law of process, which states, leadership develops daily, not in a day; the law of navigation, which states, anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course; the law of E.F. Hutton, which states, when the real leader speaks, people listen; the law of solid ground, which states, trust is the foundation of leadership; the law of respect, which states, people naturally follow leaders stronger than themselves; the law of intuition, which states, leaders evaluate everything with a leadership bias; the law of magnetism, which states, who you are is who you attract; the law of connection, which states, leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand; the law of inner circle, which states, a leader's potential is determined by those closest to him; the law of empowerment, which states, only secure leaders give power to others; the law of reproduction, which states, it takes a leader to raise up a leader; the law of buy-in, which states, people buy into the leader, then the vision; the law of victory, which states, leaders find a way for the team to win; the law of the big MO, momentum, which states, momentum is a leader's best friend; the law of priorities, which states, leaders understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. The law of sacrifice, which states, a leader must give up to go up. The law of timing, which states, when to lead is as important as what to do and where to go. The law of explosive growth, which states, to add growth, lead followers, to multiply, lead leaders. The law of legacy, which states, a leader's lasting value is measured by succession. Number 4. Fast Food Nation, The Dark Side of the All-American Meal by Eric Schlosser, New York Times bestseller, international bestseller, one of Time's 100 best nonfiction books. The author exposed how the fast food industry altered the landscape of the USA and widens the gap between rich and poor, fueled an epidemic of obesity, and transformed food production throughout the world. This book changed the way millions of people think about what they eat and helped to launch today's healthy food movement. In the new Afterword of 2012's edition, the author discussed about the growing interest in local and organic food, the continued exploitation of poor workers by food industry, and the need to ensure that every American has access to good, healthy, and affordable food. This book is valuable as it was a decade ago to understand America's food system and its impact on the society and individuals. Number 5. Wheat Belly, Lose the Wheat, Lose the Weight, and Find Your Path Back to Healthy by William Davis, MD, New York Times bestseller. After decades of clinical studies and receiving extraordinary results, Dr. William Davis explained, in this book, how eliminating wheat, even so-called healthy whole grain wheat, from your diets can help you to lose weight permanently, which can also give you relief from digestive problem and give you a broad spectrum of healthiness. Number 6. Fantastic Voyage, Live Long Enough to Live Forever by Ray Kurzweil and Terry Grossman, medical doctor. In book, the writers presented the new advancement that is occurring in the biological and physical science which may improve the health and quality of human life. The writers designed a program for a slow aging and disease processes which may allow people to remain young and healthy.